Well, it's that time of year. The entire So-Avant-Garde website is 30% off using my discount code Sebastian30. Every other time of the year, it's 20% off with my discount code Sebastian20, but 4 times a year, every season, we do 30% off with the code Sebastian30. So if you're in the market to buy fragrances, it's the time of year to buy them with the 30% discount code or 30% off discount code. And today in this video, I'm going to also recommend 10 different fragrances that you can buy off of the So-Avant-Garde website. So if you're curious to learn about these fragrances that are perfect for summer, as this is a summer themed sale, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yesterday I'm talking about 30% off over at So-Avant-Garde. This is a distributor's retail website for the fragrance group. So the fragrance group distributes brands like Tiziano Turenzi, Quinto Canto, Nishane, Bentley, Lalique, and many other brands. So I've got 10 fragrances here that are perfect for summer, and you can take advantage of the discount code on these 10 fragrances or any other fragrances on the website. In fact, the entire website is 30% off with Sebastian30. So I do these videos one every season. This is the summer themed video. Stay tuned for an autumn, a winter, and spring next year. And when we're not doing the sales, you can take advantage of the discount 20% off with Sebastian20. So let's go ahead and get started. First fragrance we're going to talk to you about is from the house of Tiziano Turenzi. It's called Leo, this one right here. So as typical with Tiziano Turenzi fragrances, this is a citrusy, musky fragrance, but it's uber intense and overwhelming. So if you like the idea of very strong citrusy fragrances, you might want to check out Leo. I've got 2 fragrances in this video from Turenzi or Tiziano Turenzi. Both of them are citrusy, fresh focused fragrances, but the fact that these are Turenzi fragrances, they're not only really intense and highly concentrated with extrait de parfum concentration, but really have great longevity. So Leo is a musky, citrusy fragrance featuring musk, mandarin oranges, kumquats, bergamot, along with ambergris, tonka, myrrh, violet leaves, cedar, magnolia, oak, and sandalwood. The fragrance does start very fresh and also powdery, but eventually it does go deep in depth. It has major depth and intensity. It gets very woody and also very musky, as I said, but up top it's very fresh with citruses. It's powdery, and of course it's a lightly floral as well. So if you're looking for something different, not like a typical freshie, you want some depth, intensity, you might want to try Leo from Tiziano Turenzi. It's quite intense for a citrus fragrance. In fact, you can probably wear that in the wintertime as well, and it'll be perfectly beastly. So let's move on to a house I haven't spoken about in the past, but this is a house I want to dig into. This is State of Mind with Sense of Humor, this one right here. I didn't realize that the fragrances from this house were created by Karine de Breuil-Sereni. She's a perfumer that I kind of admire, actually. Some of the fragrances that she's created I really like the discontinued Gucci Pour Homme 2. I believe that was her creation, but she's got a lot of different fragrances that she's done that I really like, more designers. But I found out that she's created a lot of fragrances from State of Mind, which the fragrances of State of Mind are all on So-Avant-Garde's website. So Sense of Humor is a green, fresh, citrusy fragrance, and it features a prominent Cedrat or Citron note, along with mandarin orange, but this is a tea-focused line. A lot of their fragrances feature tea notes, so the fragrances come in tea boxes or containers. I drink a lot of tea in addition to coffee, so I like the presentation for this house because they, like I said, they come in these like, let me show you. I have the box right here. So this is the box of State of Mind Sense of Humor, and when you open up the box, you've got this like container for tea inside of it, and you've got the name right here, as you can see, and then this pops open and the tea sits inside like this. Fun presentation. But if you're a tea drinker, you would know this little presentation because it does look like an actual container for loose leaf tea. But this is a fun fragrance in that it's very citrusy and green, and of course it has loads of tea notes in here. So in addition to the Cedrat and Citron or Citron note, we've got Mandarin orange, we've got Darjeeling tea. We also have coriander, there's mate, which is another kind of a tea note, blackcurrant leaves, peaches, musk, and cedarwood. It's a very, very unique smell for a freshie. This is definitely a freshie, whereas the Tiziano Turenzi I discussed with you was featuring loads of fresh notes that are pretty dominant, but the fact that in the base notes it has such intense and dense note, it acts more like your typical winter intense fragrance. But this is a really fun, fresh, citrusy, cozy tea fragrance with all kinds of fruitiness and musky types of notes. It does have a little bit of woodiness in the dry down, but it is a fun fragrance and perfect for the summertime wear. So this is State of Mind's Sense of Humor. Let me know if you guys know that house. Have you checked out the fragrances from that house? And are you a fan of Karine de Brul's Serenity's fragrances? Let me know, put a comment down below. But moving on to the house of Brioni, the first two fragrances were unisex offerings, and I've got a few male targeted releases in this video as well, such as this next one. It's from Brioni. This is Brioni EDP Eclat. Now, this is a really, really unique fragrance when you compare it to the other two Brioni EDP fragrances. So we first started with Brioni EDP, then we started with Brioni EDP Intense, and now we've got Brioni EDP Eclat, and I'm waiting for the next one as well. I can't wait to get my hands and nose on it to see how it is. But this to me is kind of like a musky Ambroxan take on something like Terre d'Hermès, I should say, because under the fragrance, there's something very, very lightly reminding me of Terre d'Hermès, and I feel like it's the grapefruit note, and I believe Terre d'Hermès in general has a kind of grapefruity citrusiness, but this is really, really musky, so musky, and I love that about it. It kind of acts a bit like a molecular kind of, because it has Ambroxan, so it acts a bit molecular like fragrances featuring Ambroxan, but it's musky, so it has musk, juicy, grapefruit, Ambroxan, frankincense, patchouli, pink pepper, creamy sandalwood, and rose. The rose is very light, but it's a great release, so different from the other Brioni EDP fragrances, but I really, really love it, and I think it's perfect for summertime. So this is Brioni EDP Eclat. That's the third fragrance I'm talking about today. The next one is one of the latest from Nishane. This is Wulong Cha X, this one right here. So if you're looking for a bit of a floral take on Wulong Cha, this is it. This is really, really delicious. I was a late discoverer of Wulong Cha because I was always focusing on other Nishane fragrances. But once I got into it like 3 or 4 years ago, I was really loved it because I love tea fragrances and I find them to be very calming and cozy and welcoming and soothing and things like that. Here we've got a new version of Wulong Cha in that it smells very close to the original, but you've got this very major Magnolia edge to it because they've amped it up with a floral touch with the Magnolia note, and I feel like it really does do a great job in creating this very fresh, kind of a citrusy floral take on the original. Wulong Cha X features bergamot, mandarin orange, magnolia, fig, green tea, thyme, musk, yuzu, and Lycea cubeba. But what a wonderful release this is. This is X take on Nishane's Wulong Cha, created by what's his name? I forgot. Julian Rascanet. And he's done 2 different fragrances for the X collection by Nishane. And basically, they've kind of done a remix of several of the fragrances from Nishane for their 10-year anniversary. And the X stands for 10. Anyway, Wulong Cha X is great. It's perfect for summer. Check it out. This is from the house of Nishane. And we're not focusing. Come on now. There we go. So we've got one more male targeted release. This is from the house of Tumi, which is also part of the fragrance group. They distribute Tumi fragrances. This is Atlas. For me, it's the freshest and the one that I like that I could wear from this house that I wanted to recommend. It's definitely very metallic and cold here. We've got kind of screechy aromatic notes, and it's vetiver with geranium. There's ginger here with grapefruit, cardamom, sandalwood, labdanum, moss, and bergamot. But it's very clean, crisp, cool, fresh, type of an aromatic, woody fragrance for men that I think is perfect for wearing during the summer hot months. And, you know, you've got this great crowd-pleasing smell here, and it will please you, the wearer, and also people around you. But either way, Tumi's Atlas is a great release that you can wear for the summertime. But this next fragrance is a really, really yummy, fruity, floral fragrance from the house of Quinto Canto or V Canto, which is a sister house to Tiziano Turenzi. It's called Regina, this one right here. And it's a wonderful, fruity, floral fragrance that I think will be perfect to wear in the heat of the summer. But you can wear this one any time of the year because it's very uplifting, happy, and really, really inviting kind of a fragrance that will make you very, you know, uplifted with the kind of smell it is. So it has notes of peony, orange blossom, bergamot, peach, oak moss, iris, oud, jasmine, red plum. So as you can see, we've got loads of fruits and loads of flowers, so it's very fresh and fruity and floral, and the notes, the fruits and the flowers are very, very fresh to me. But eventually the fragrance does get deeper and darker and have more depth to create a more lasting power with the fragrance. It's definitely an extrait de parfum concentration fragrance like other Tiziano Turenzi fragrances, but this one is an uber fruity, floral, fresh fragrance that I really, really love the smell of. So this is Regina from the house of Quinto Canto. Let me know if you've tried that one. I did an overview of the brand recently, I should say maybe 6-7 months ago. Go catch that video if you haven't yet. But moving on to another Nishane fragrance. I've got 3 Nishane fragrances here. This is Ani X. Yes, I'm putting this one here in this list today for summertime. So Ani X is basically taking the original Ani. Cecile Zarokian, who created the original, also created this update, the X version, and she's basically lemonified the original Ani fragrance, which is more vanillic, spicy, and woody. It has vanilla for sure. It has sandalwood. It's got this creamy vibe from the sandalwood, a woody, creamy vibe, but there's major dosage of ginger and cardamom. Here, we do have that, but she's kind of mixed around the notes and added a lot of lemon, so she's intensified the freshness and kind of toned down the more deeper notes to create more for a fragrance that you can wear in the summertime perhaps. It might still be a bit too strong for some of you. Test it out to see, but it's a great, great take on the original. Some of you might prefer the original, some of you might like this one, so test to compare and see. And also, I recently featured this in a video of citrusy gourmands. It's kind of not necessarily uber gourmand, but I feel like it's kind of bordering the gourmand territory of fragrances, which I find quite delicious. So either way, this is Ani X from the house of Nishane. Check it out if you haven't already. The X fragrances are out now. You can get them all off of the So-Avant-Garde website, by the way. A few more fragrances left. We've got 3 more. Going to the house of Mise en Cire, another fragrance that's also cool and crisp and sharp and metallic. We're talking about Mise en Cire's Blue Gin, this one right here. So basically inspired by gin, maybe a gin tonic, but more of the gin. And I find juniper in gin, or in fragrances I should say more, to come off very metallic and sharp. So if you like the idea of cooling fragrances, this is exactly that, because it's very ice cold when you wear it. So we've got juniper berry here with mandarin orange, Sichuan pepper, black pepper, cascalone, which is a fresh aquatic note from Firmenich, because this is a Alberto Moria's created fragrance. We've got Irone, which is iris, Cetalox, which is like Ambroxan, and Tonka. So it's musky, clean, crisp, fresh, metallic, sharp, all of that stuff, and definitely something you can wear in the heat of summer, humid heat of summer, and really feel refreshed. This I should have taken to my trip to Montreal, because I was there, man, it was so hot and humid, and I feel like I needed something like this to really, really cool me off, but I didn't have it. But if you guys live in those kind of places, definitely check out Mise en Cire's Blue Gin, because it is very, very cooling. The next fragrance, going back to the house of Tiziano Turenzi, we've got Libra here. Another kind of a very intense take on citruses, but very musky and powdery as well. This is a fragrance that features loads of musk, so musk notes come off powdery in general for me, but you've got loads of lemons in here. In addition to the lemons, you've got orris, and orris is a powdery note, so musk, lemons, orris, grapefruit, bergamot, rose, ambergris, jasmine, vanilla, benzoin, vetiver, patchouli. If you ever look up the notes for Tiziano Turenzi fragrances, they have a boatload of more notes that they add. And you do experience a lot of these notes for sure. And it's a very, very complex wear. And because of its complexity, I find it to be a real overwhelming for summer. But some of you can handle this density, some intensity, right? You don't want all overly fresh fragrances. So if you're that kind of a person, you should definitely check this one out. It's Tiziano Turenzi's Libra. And I should also say both Tiziano Turenzi's Libra and Leo do have a bit of a Middle Eastern kind of a vibe or edge to them. So if you like that idea, definitely check those two fragrances out. And we're going to end the list with Nishane's Hachivat. So I'm including the original here, not the Hachivat X, because I like the screechiness of this fragrance in comparison to the X. I will report on the 5 Nishane X fragrances very soon. Stay tuned for that video. But I'm going with this version because I like the screechiness for the summertime. That screechy, sharp, metallic edge to this fragrance is perfect for the cold days, as I was saying. I mean, the hot days, as I was saying. But this, everybody knows this fragrance. It's pineapple with oak moss, grapefruit, bergamot, woodsy notes, cedar, patchouli, and jasmine. Yeah, it might kind of feel or act a bit like Aventus, but I feel they're completely different fragrances if they're kind of similar style. So Nishane's Hachivat is perfect in the heat of summer. Wear it and wear it, liberally, as you can spray it all over. But sometimes this might come off a bit intense for some people, so use with caution. But I absolutely love it in this heat of the summer. Either way, this is Nishane's Hachivat, and that is the last fragrance here for you today in this video. So So-Avant-Garde website sale goes from today until Monday night. So you have 4 days to shop at 30% off. Sebastian 30 is the discount code. Otherwise, any other days, it's Sebastian 20. And as I said, I do these videos once every season or quarter. So this is the summer edition. The next one will be the autumn edition. But let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Put a comment down below so I can find out. And also let me know what other fragrances that are on the So-Avant-Garde website that you think would have ended up perfectly fine in this video. Put a comment down so I can find out, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As I said, this goes until Monday night. Stay tuned for more videos very soon. Either way, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.